kind of mead.
Good morning again. After getting our fill of big wave stories, horses jumping off horrific cliffs, and pilgrimages to Nazaré, Nick and I headed 1.5 hours drive south to Sintra. Arriving in the dark, we suddenly found ourselves deeply embroiled in a medieval tavern, replete with tankards of draught beer and mead.
So where are we, Nick?
We're in the center of mead. It's brilliant. Sintra is definitely not a hidden gem. This fairy tale village of 30,000 people is about an hour, or sometimes less, by direct train line from Rossio Station in the centre of Lisbon. Now, there are many ways to slice up Portugal, and in the years since the 1974 revolution, there have been many changes to these regions, but I think I've cracked it. I've been making some changes and stuff. So these are the regions that we're discovering in Portugal Unlocked. Algarve, Alentejo, Central Region, Northern Region, and the Lisbon metropolitan area. Clearly, Sintra lies within the Lisbon metropolitan area, and it actually has 3 little parts to it. Similar to Nazaré last week, except that Sintra is 3 times larger with respect to population. Sintra Villa, Estefania, and San Pedro are joined by a confusing maze of winding roads, and it's best to park your car and walk, or organise alternative transport. Alright, before we get all carried away with these dreamy tunes, let me show you 9 sites worth seeing in Sintra. Then we'll pick one and dive right in. Number 1. Pena Palace, or the Palacio de Pena. It's a vibrant 19th century romanticist palace perched atop the Sintra Mountains, offering panoramic views and showcasing a mix of architectural style. Really, a lot of mixes actually. It's like yellows and reds and all kinds of crazy stuff. Number 2, the Moorish Castle, or Castelo dos Mouros. It's a 9th century fortress built by the Moors, featuring ancient walls and towers that provide sweeping vistas of the surrounding landscape. Yep, you heard that right, that's 1,000 years old, and more, 1,100 and some years. 3, Quinta da Regaleira, a Gothic-style estate, renowned for its ornate palace, enchanting gardens, and the mysterious initiation well. Number 4, Montserrat Palace, or the Palacio de Montserrat, an exotic 19th century palace blending Moorish, Gothic and Indian architectural elements, surrounded by lush botanical gardens. Number 5, Sintra National Palace, or the Palacio Nacional de Sintra, the best preserved medieval royal residence in Portugal, known for its distinctive twin chimneys and intricate tile work. Number 6, Cabo da Roca, the westernmost point of mainland Europe, featuring dramatic cliffs and breathtaking ocean views. Number 7, Convent of the Capuchos, or Capuchos, I guess. It's a humble 16th century Franciscan monastery nestled in the woods, known for its austere architecture and serene atmosphere. Number 8, Seteais Palace, or the Palacio de Seteais. An elegant 18th century neoclassical palace, now a luxury hotel, offering splendid views of the surrounding landscape. And it's got a cool story to go with. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Number 9, the chalet and garden of the Countess of Edler. Now, this is a picturesque 19th century chalet with charming gardens reflecting the romantic taste of its era. All right, so let's pick one. How about Quinta da Regaleira? We actually got ripped off big time. Not big time, but we did get ripped off. Good morning again. So we're going to do a tour of the Quinta da Regaleira, and this is apparently our meeting point. Hopefully the dude's arriving. But it's one thing that I've always wanted to go to, actually. Nick,
yeah.
Excited about Quinta da Regaleira?
I am. Not so excited about all the climbing today, but yeah, excited about going into Seteais Palaces.
So it's Farhan?
Yes, Farhan.
Okay.
Yes. So you're vlogging?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
So right now while we're standing, you see the R written on the wall. So from there it starts the boundary of Quinta da Regaleira. So from here, that is the main palace. That will be your last thing to see. So we start our journey from top side of the mountain. We will see each and everything.
So basically, we're heading to the, I don't even know how you say that, Pozo Insitico? I don't know. It's like some rock formation. But basically, yeah, we've got a tour guide that has absolutely done us like a kepper, because you can't come in. I mean, what's the point of a tour guide if you can't come in?
What did you say? He's done us
like a kipper.
Done us like a kipper. He's just left us high and dry. So now we have a map, which is not very informative, and we have a million other tour guides who've obviously, and we've paid $46 for this, so I'm not that excited. While everybody else was happily following their tour guides and getting all this incredible information, we were fumbling around trying to figure out what's gone on. Nick was doing a great job with the map and trying to figure out all the place names and everything. And it was just sad. So I urge you to go online and to buy your tickets, pre-buy your tickets from Quinta da Regaleira official website. Links are in the description. We don't get any commission. I just want to help you out. But nonetheless, Quinta da Regaleira was an amazing place. It was absolutely spectacular. I don't know. I don't really have words to describe it. It was just such an incredible experience. It was like a real life fairy tale. This is the Initiation Well, which is a 27-meter deep inverted tower with a spiral staircase that descends into the ground. It features 9 levels of stone steps, which are thought to symbolize the 9 circles of Dante's Inferno, the 9 levels of Purgatory, or the 9 steps of Masonic initiation. At the bottom, there's a compass with a Templar cross embedded into the floor, reinforcing its esoteric and spiritual connections. Can we do the shortcut?
We can do the shortcut here.
Let's do it. There's a big X there, though.
Huh? No, that's me just ticking off what we've done.
Just smart
so that
stuff.
We don't repeat things.
Brilliant.
We're going to hit some traffic up ahead.
Are we?
Yeah.
That's okay. You're famous now.
It's okay.
This is pretty impressive with all the Christmas lights on the left here.
Yeah.
What's your head, bro?
Don't worry, I'm short.
You right?
No.
This is a perfect movie set, isn't it?
Amazing. I don't know what you'd be filming Lord of the Rings here. After having had a drink of mead in the old medieval tavern down the road. So this place, the Pozo Iniziato, or whatever the hell you call it, sorry for my pronunciation, is an iconic spiral staircase. It was historically used for initiation rites or ceremonies, often associated with Freemasonry or Templar-like symbolism. The staircase features multiple levels connected by small landings, and the well leads to a series of underground tunnels. There you go.
As you can see, it's pretty touristy around here, so our mission is to find local food, culture and history in Portugal. And food is now on the agenda. Nick, what's the plan?
We're going to find a traditional breakfast.
A traditional breakfast?
Well, I think there's some cakes or something they call them. I can't remember how they're pronounced, but
They're called queijadas, and then the other one is called a travessaria. Actually, travesseiro, and it dates only back to the 1940s, or it means a pillow or a cushion in Portuguese.
Duas queijadas, travesseiro, uma água com gás ao TC, com palho e café com leite. 14,50
It's a beautiful square, it really is lovely, with the ever-present pillory pole where people were strung up and lashed in the good old days. Just kidding. So yeah, it is touristy and there's a high concentration of tourists. We were here in the middle of winter, so it was December and it was a weekday as well, so there weren't that many people, but if you come here in summer, it'll be heaving. While we're here in the square in front of the Palacio Nacional de Sintra, let me tell you one of probably the most common stories about this palace. So it's the legend of the magpies. Now, just bear in mind that this palace has been a royal residence for over 800 years. I know it looks like a bakery with those two massive, cheminées, or what do they call? Chimneys. But it was a very popular palace with the royalty. Now, one of the most famous stories comes from the Magpie Room, or the Sala das Pegas, which is named after its elaborate ceiling decoration, which features 136 magpies holding scrolls in their beaks. Now, the story was that King João I in the 14th century, so that's like 1300 and something, was caught flirting with a lady-in-waiting in the palace. Now, the queen caught them together, and obviously the scandal quickly spread among the court's gossiping nobles. To silence the chatter, the king ordered the ceiling to be painted with magpies, each holding a banner reading "Por bem," for good, supposedly his defense for the innocent flirtation. So the number of birds symbolizes the number of women at court who were gossiping about the event. 136, that's a lot of people. And I wonder if it helped. There are so many stories hidden in this beautiful village. And there's another one quickly of King Sebastião I, who was Portugal's young and ambitious ruler. In 1578, he mysteriously disappeared in battle. And it was before leaving for battle, he allegedly spent time at Sintra Palace consulting astrologers in the coat of arms room. So after the battle, his disappearance led to a national crisis and the loss of Portugal's independence to Spain, which went from 1580 to 1640. And there was a lot of war involved in that, so it was a very, very difficult time. But legend has it that on foggy nights in Sintra, his ghostly figure of King Sebastião I can be seen riding through the palace, searching for his lost destiny. Wow. Yeah, there are so many stories in this little village and all around Portugal, and we're hunting for them. We're finding them, but we can't tell you them all. So you need to go out there and explore it yourself and find your own stories. There's one more story that I have to tell you because I promised this earlier. There's the Palacio dos Seteais. Now, I is an exclamation in Portugal, and like if you know Portugal and you live here, you'll see, especially if you've been to a funeral, sadly, that a lot of women mourn and a lot of men as well go ai, and it's an exclamation. And the Palace of Seteais actually goes back to the Moorish days when there was a Moorish princess or noblewoman, and she was in love with a Christian knight. Unfortunately, she had an arranged marriage with a Muslim guy, and she was forbidden to be with her Christian lover. And she sighed 7 times, like, I'm not going to do it 7 times. And apparently the wind took the eyes all the way through the valley of Sintra. And this is the legend of Seteais, and that's how the palace of Seteais got its name. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to all these stories about Sintra. It's a fascinating place, and I urge you to go and discover it. But just, as I said, be careful. It's pretty touristy, lots of people around, so make sure you either go early in the morning or in winter or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely one of the most incredible spots in Portugal. All right, have a fantastic week. Oh, and next week we're going up. I'm going down to the Algarve, and then I'm going to come back up on my second major trip of Portugal Unlocked, and I'm going off for like 5 days and filming Évora. Now, Évora doesn't sound like much, but wow, was I surprised when I went there. All right, see you next week. AlgarveAddicts.com. We'll see you next week, but if you need any help relocating to the Algarve, click through to our website, AlgarveAddicts.com. We offer tours, immigration assistance, long-term rentals, and we can buy your house.